Hey guys, welcome back to Make It Dairy Free. I am Larisha.
I am Andrew.
And so today we were kind of like thinking about this video idea and how we've been in this pandemic, we've all been stuck in the house.
Can't do nothing, you just can't go anywhere.
And there's like all these things that we wanted to do and we're just kind of stuck here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And the fact that we have little critters at home, I mean, you know, typically we'd be trying to figure out places to take them.
I know we were really looking forward to like taking them to the carnival this year.
Yeah, honestly, that would have been pretty cool. For me, carnivals were like more all about the food.
It's always about the food for you, but
Yeah.
for me, carnivals, I was excited because I feel like they're both finally old enough. For me, I loved the ride, so I was hoping that we could actually enjoy that, but I love the food too.
I mean, the games were pretty cool as well. So, I mean, what I think we're gonna try to do today, since we can't necessarily put some rides outside.
We do have a bounce house.
We do, yeah. We can make that work. We're just gonna try to recreate some of the foods that we loved when we went to the carnival.
Yeah. So I don't like what was your favorite food at the carnival? Have we ever been to a carnival together?
You know what? I don't think so.
I don't either. What was your favorite food?
My favorite food was, I don't know. I feel like you can get this food also at like theme parks. So, but it was, for me, it was funnel cake. I love funnel cake.
Yeah. Remember that one time we went and had like all these different topping ideas and stuff?
Yeah, no, that was really good. They had everything there.
That was at like the boardwalk or something though, right?
It was. Boardwalk is somewhere like our shore.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody would know that.
Yeah. I think for me, my favorite food would probably be, I don't know, I love fried Oreos and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are good.
I love cotton candy, but we're not we're not doing that right now.
You need a machine to create cotton candy. I don't think
we're not like making a recipe for that.
Yeah.
Like throw like, what is it, like floss? It's like candy floss or something in a machine.
I haven't made it. So.
But I think another thing we were going to try to remake was, we realized that our kids have never had a corn dog.
Oh yeah, those were my favorite when I was like my stuff when I was younger.
And so we're going to try to recreate that, but vegan, of course.
Yes, 100%.
And I think that's one thing maybe like why we've avoided the carnivals for a little while, is because it's like, you love the food so much, but what can we really have there? Maybe some French fries, depending on like the food trucks and stuff.
It's not the same bringing your own food to the carnival. It just,
well, no,
it's kind of lame.
Yeah. And I think when it's something like a carnival, like you expect it to be like, you expect to go and like want, like, I want a funnel cake and I want nachos.
It's part of the experience. So,
yeah,
for sure.
So we had the idea of possibly making some caramel popcorn.
Yeah.
We're a little nervous about that one.
The kettle corn, I don't know if we could repeat that, but our thought was maybe we can, pop some popcorn, make a bomb caramel sauce, and kind of just toss it all across it.
If that does not end up in this video, we failed miserably.
Yeah, we'll just blame that on you.
But why is it always gotta be me?
So, why not get to making them?
Let's just get right into it.
Yeah. Funnel cakes by far are one of my favorite foods at theme parks or carnivals. I will literally end my day at a theme park, and if I'm heading out and I haven't had a funnel cake yet, you got it right. I'm turning right around. Make a funnel cake. It's literally just a pancake batter with a few tweaks here and there. You could literally almost start with either your dry ingredients and mixing those together first, or your wet ingredients and mixing those together first, and simply just bringing them together at the end. So there's two important pieces about making a funnel cake: batter and thing you're using to pour the batter out of. So the batter, you want it to have a continuous pour as you're holding your funnel over the oil to make your funnel cake. We had ended up using this pretty expensive looking contraption, but it's really cheap. It's a pancake batter funnel, and it just didn't work the way it was supposed to. The bottom hole was just extremely skinny. It was straight up like spaghetti in the pan. Like, I just made spaghetti funnel cake. So instead of using that, I switched up and started using an actual funnel that we had inside the house. That worked out way better because the diameter of the hole in the bottom of it was just girthy enough to make sure that everything came out perfect. Last thing to be concerned about, I guess, would be how to bring this together, like how to shape it per se. Let me tell you, there's no right or wrong answer on how to make this happen. I'm thinking if you end up doing one of these, your funnel cake gonna come out just fine. And that's it. Check out what it looks like.
Next is our fried Oreos. The first thing I want to point out is that with any fried recipe that we show in the video, you want your temperature to get to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We love our candy thermometer that we'll link below, or you can use a wooden spoon. If it bubbles, your oil's hot enough to fry. To make this process insanely easy, we are literally using the exact same recipe for the funnel cake, but a tad less liquid so it's thicker. That means that if you want both recipes but don't want a lot, you could have some fried Oreos and a funnel cake all made together. Easy peasy. Once you have your batter, you literally just want to dip and coat both sides of your Oreos, and then it goes right into the hot oil. You want it to cook for about a minute on each side or until golden brown, flipping between the sides to ensure an even cooking process. The batter will get you roughly 15 fried Oreos. Depending on how large your skillet is, you can do multiple at a time, but don't crowd them. Once they are done, remove to a paper towel lined plate and let cool for a bit before sprinkling them with powdered sugar. Quick tip, don't put powdered sugar on right away or it will melt into the dough. These are best served as soon as they cool down, and you can use any flavor Oreos that you want. Use gluten-free or organic variations if needed or desired.
Infamous caramel corn. So Larisha and I were teasing about who was gonna be making this one. We went back and forth. I was saying she's gonna make it. She was saying I was gonna make it. And as you can see, you know who's boss in this house. So, yeah, I mean, I lost, but you know, I wanted to make it. So really she lost, you know? So making the popcorn is easy. Pretty much just follow the directions on the back of your popcorn. One thing I do different is I add a little butter in the beginning stages of my popcorn instead of the oil that's typically requested. Obviously, you could also use the microwave version of popcorn too, and pretty much just follow the caramel steps after that. For the caramel, I think what gets people about making caramel, it seems like it's really hard, but honestly, it's super easy. It's just temperamental. It also goes through each of its phases insanely quick. Beginning with cane sugar in your pot, crank your burner up to medium heat and get ready to stir until your arm hurts, and then have to stir some more as you're pushing your sugar around in the pot. After a few minutes, you'll see that it begins to dissolve, starting at the bottom. Next, you're gonna see the sugar start to clump up with each other. The best advice I can give you before you even start making your caramel, make sure you have everything you're gonna need to make the caramel right in front of you, because this stuff waits for nobody. I guess I should have said that first, huh? So now you're just gonna watch for the next few stages to happen. The clumping begins to get a little bit bigger in size, but you'll still see the sugar continuing to dissolve at the bottom. Keep a close eye on it, because next your sugar will begin to turn sort of like a brownish amber kind of color. People say that you get like a nutty aroma at this point. Personally, this is my own thought, but I feel like I smell more of like a burnt smell. But like a burnt smell you could enjoy. I know that's like a weird way to put it, but it's similar to the smell of like a barbecue. So like a barbecue, you know everything is being cooked, but you really only smell the aroma of smoke, but the smoke smells so good. Once all your crystals are dissolved and you have nothing but a liquid form, you wanna start adding in your vegan butter all at once. Be very careful, because you'll see once you add that butter in, the reaction between the sugar and the butter, it is gonna go crazy, literally. At this point, while you're stirring your butter in and you're waiting for it to melt, you might see the sugar start to separate. This doesn't always happen, but at times it will start to separate and look like it's not going to come together. If you don't see that, then good. You can continue with mixing things together and going to the next step. If you do see that, keep it on the stove, keep it over the heat, and just keep mixing. It may take a little while, but this should go away, and everything should combine just fine. Another thing to look out for is, depending on your brand of butter, you may have a little bit of excess oil in there, or just because you added a little too much, probably from mismeasuring, you might have a little bit of oil left over. That's absolutely fine too. You could always pour the excess out. It separates right from the caramel. Now, if you were making the basic caramel sauce, you would follow the next steps where you're adding some coconut cream, you're gonna be adding vanilla, and you're basically just gonna make this thing nice and rich. So here in the video, that's what I did. I used our caramel sauce we have on our website to ultimately put on the popcorn, but it never really hardened up. So the caramel sauce that we make is literally a sauce. So it never gets to a state where it's very hard like candy. So after filming this, I just wasn't happy. So I kept testing. Come to find out, if I just stopped at the butter stage and making sure that was combined, after a few minutes, that itself begins to harden up pretty quickly. So from there, what you do is, while it's still very soft, you pour it right over top of your popcorn and move fast. Use your spatula to start folding it all together. You might start to break the popcorn up a bit, but that's absolutely fine. Just keep on pushing and folding everything together, because the caramel is gonna start hardening, and it may get too hard if you take too long. Then you're gonna be moving that to a baking tray just to allow it to cool, and then later you're gonna break it apart. After you break it apart, this is gonna be ready to enjoy. Check it out.
Last but certainly not least, we are going to show you an epically easy way to make vegan corn dogs. You need just 10 ingredients, and while you may think that this isn't an easy thing to make, we're going to give you all the tips you need. First, you want to make your vegan buttermilk and flax egg. Set that aside, and then into a bowl we are starting off with cornmeal, well, because it's a corn dog. Then adding in flour, use gluten-free if you need, salt, baking powder, baking soda, and cayenne. Don't worry, it just enhances the flavor, it doesn't make it spicy. Then you're going to add in that vegan buttermilk. It's just dairy-free milk and apple cider vinegar, agave, and your flax egg. Give that a stir together. This will be a thick batter. Once you have everything mixed well together, you are going to move this batter into a tall glass. This will help you coat the corn dogs evenly, so try to find something that will work. If not, use a flat dish like a pie plate to roll. Push your skewers into your hot dogs. We'll link the ones we use below, or you can use popsicle sticks or wooden coffee skewers. Just make sure it's something that can withstand heat. Holding onto the skewers, push it down into the batter and twirl it around, coating it as evenly as possible, and then move into your oil. A few tips. You need to make sure that there's enough oil that the entire thing is coated and that it can lay flat. Otherwise, you risk your batter coming off. Also, it helps if your vegan hot dogs aren't overly wet before going into the mixture. If they are, dry them off. And lastly, we are using field roast hot dogs here in the video, but we've also used the Aldi brand and Light Life brand. All three have worked for us. Cook 3 to 4 minutes or until golden brown all over. Remove to a paper towel lined plate and serve once cooled with ketchup and mustard or your favorite sauce. P.S. Our kids love them. Alright y'all, thanks for watching. We hope you love these at-home carnival inspiration food ideas. Head down to the comments and let us know which one you want to try first. If you haven't yet, please give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and we hope that you have a great day. Remember to smile.